Masambe sobona pampi, and I will meet you there. Masambe sobona pampi, and I will meet you there. Masambe sobona pampi, and I will meet you there. Masambe sobona pampi, and I will meet you there. Pambili, 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 and I will meet you there. Sizophumelela, 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 sizophumelela. Nkululeko ndiyabafuna abazali bam. Kaloku mna ndizalwa ngumathengethengisa kanothwala impahla. Imazi yayivuka ngonye ezilungisa isidlo sasekuseni. Kanti ngalo lonke elo xesha le mazi sizawulungisela impangelo kwangaxeshanye. Thina sikhula sithaka sihambe sithukwa de sasixela ukuba masihlale kulo mzi ade abuye umdlezana nebele. Kaloku sikhula sibanjwe ngamazinyo nje. Utata welikhaya wayekhona into okunayo wayeligqobhozile itonela ngendlela zazokusebenzeka apha. Kanti ngalo lonke elo xesha ukhusela izaphula imithetho engaqondanga. Mna Nkululeko ndiyabafuna abamabazali kuba ngenye imini kwenzeka umnqa suka kabuye umdlezana nebele yemani kwasa phandle engabuyanga umdlezana nebele savuka sagcakamela ilanga ngenjongo zokujonga enkalweni ngelingeni salubona uthulu lombhoxo lwenqolo endla zathe kuswa ngumqhubi yaza kuma kumasango wasekhaya umbono woxholovana bamadoda sangeniswe endlini kunyanzelwa yathenya indoda kula madoda bantwana bamitonela lidilikile kwaye utata wenu limdilikele ngaloo ndlela kasayi kuphinda ligqobhoza itonela hamba ngenyawo zombili ndawubona umqokozo womama belali besiza ngendledlana kaloku xa ubona umama uba nethemba kodwa omnye umama wathi kwaba mama yemani inzulu yemfihlakalo wathi inzulu yesimanga uthi ngoba izalisa umhlaba nesibhakabhaka uthi hayi ababunzulu kunye noluthando lwakhe uthi kunye nalomsebenzi wakhe ungenakuqondwa uthi kaloku abakholwayo namhlanje abanakugwetywa uthi mawudunyiswe wena Nkosi ngoba usephakadeni wayebahamba umama umhlabelela ingoma wathatha ngelizwi elincancazela wabhekisa kum wathi bantwana bamizolo kuye kwabakho umbhoda ngokubulawa kwamathengethengisa ngelishwa umama wenu uye wanyathelwa imoto wasweleka mlesi kumzimba ongenamandla ndakhasa ndaphumela phandle kuba ndandiyibona ingqimba elifa elimnyama lime phezu komzi wasekhaya yamandakhwaza izihlandlo ezithathu ndathi Nkululeko ndathi Nkululeko yewena Nkululeko mna ndiyabafuna abazali bam yewena uBobaleko ngabanjwa yewena Baleko ngabanjwa uBobaleka man Baleko ngabanjwa uBobaleka man Baleko ngabanjwa naphambili siya phambili. Can I hear an amen? No? Naphambili siya phambili. Sizophumelela, 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 sizophumelela. Yewena yemntomjonga banjwa. Yewena Baleko ngabanjwa uBobaleka man Baleko ngabanjwa uBobaleka man Baleko ngabanjwa Masambe sobona pampi and I will meet you there. Masambe sobona pampi and I will meet you there. Masambe sobona pampi and I will meet you there. Masambe sobona pampi and I will meet you there.
Masiye phambili and we'll meet you there. What a befitting song for people who want to succeed and see themselves very, very far in life. Welcome to it, everybody. It's a Wednesday afternoon, and the hashtag to use today is SciTech Wednesday. Do communicate with us, and thank you for choosing us. We are Ekse_live on Twitter, on Facebook. It's Ekse on Cape Twon Tv. My name is Lamali Moon, and you know how I roll. I never roll alone.
Yes, I'm Rizal Forbes, and like he said, thank you for choosing us as your source of entertainment. As you do know, we serve you nothing but the best dish rather of entertainment on your TV screen. En natuurlijk is hierdie nie net onze show, die is almal se show, en daarvoor sê ons Kobayam, Kobayako, And just like that, we infuse everyone with one show. I mean, where have you found such a show?
Never.
You'll never find it anywhere. Kim, you will learn. Kuboyam, kuboyako, kuboye. Chukama kengusasa kwa bikwana. And jenges kalo asfika nga kuya galelekwa. What a beautiful and heartfelt performance we had from Usizianda, who will catch up with a bit later on. We bring you nothing but the best on channel 263 Ekse, and we have an awesome lineup for you. Today we'll be speaking to Unsako as well as Undando, who are the geniuses behind the Jonga security app.
Yes, of course. Besides that, we're giving away wonderful prizes. If you do not know about the pop socket, where were you? Because we introduced it to you yesterday. Well, today we're going to reintroduce it, and we're also talking Ikaya skin and hair care range.
Ooh.
So you do not want to miss all of that. All of the details about the competitions are on our Facebook fan page, which is Ekse on Cape Twon TV. But later on, we're going to reintroduce this program.
Absolutely. And because it is a SciTech Wednesday, today's show celebrates nothing but science and also awesomeness, and people who's doing awesome things. Later on, we're sitting down with Charles Daniels as well as Abiso, who are awesome entrepreneurs, and we're going to find out exactly what it is that they are doing. Ons het natuurlijk science news for you coming up next. Keep it locked.
Yeah, boy.
Afrikaans, English, and well, we have science news for you. In the science news, that a new retractable backpack. His name is Sipiwe Zuma, who has been using crutches since getting shot at the age of 9 and losing his leg. The young interior designer design student rather from Inanda village in KwaZulu-Natal told the Pretorian News he had difficulty in his first year. He said, I had to carry a lot of materials, and the rainy days were the worst because I could not hold an umbrella while using crutches. Zuma was among 3,000 researchers, scientists, policymakers, and students at the CSIR during the 5-day Science Forum South Africa last week. He said the retractable backpack was an attempt for him to find a solution to his problem. But after speaking to other students and conducting some research, he found that there was a market for the product, as other campuses had students who were just like him. He also said that in 2017, we released the first prototype. We further developed it to make it smaller and have a better retracting mechanism. And he says we want to learn what works and what doesn't, and a lot of hours and money went into designing the second prototype, as I wasn't under the grassroots innovation program yet, so it was a bit complicated. More than 700 students at the University of KwaZulu-Natal who were disabled, and such a product would bring them very much convenience. And Sipiwe said that long-term vision was to also supply the product to other universities as well as Africa as a whole in the next 5 years. So that is absolutely amazing.
Oh, definitely I should get myself that bag. That's for sure. But keeping it local, all the way in Cape Town, we're going to Stellenbosch, where the recipient of Stellenbosch University, Chancellor's Medal for 2019, Dr. Jennifer van Heerden, passed every year of her study with distinctions and obtained distinctions on every one of her 11 domains of the final year examination. Van Heerden, who was awarded the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery cum laude yesterday, passed every one of her 29 theory modules in the 6-year program with distinctions, completing the program with an average of 87.8%. The prestigious Chancellor Medal is awarded annually to a final year or postgraduate student who who has not only excelled academically, but also contributed to campus life in various ways and worked hard in developing co-curricular attributes. So congratulations to you, Dr. Jennifer van Heerden, and I'm sure Stellenbosch must be so proud of you, and well done for all your accomplishments in the university and outside of the university. We're jumping straight now to our first interview, where we will be chatting to Unzago, who is talking to us about the Jonga security app. How are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
I'm great, thank you. Great. Listen, so Jonga, what is it about?
Okay, well, first of all, Jonga is a Xhosa word which means to look. And effectively what we're doing is that we're encouraging, we're trying to empower communities to look after one another. So we have developed this affordable community-based home alarm system that connects you to the people who are most concerned by your well-being, who are your neighbors, when you're experiencing an emergency.
Okay, Ntsako, you participated with Social Tech Startup Challenge. Can you tell us more about what that is and what it entails, and how it has benefited Ujonga, and how will it benefit the rest of the country?
So the Social Tech Startup Challenge was a challenge that Diageo put out to say, hey guys, everyone who has an idea that they think could change Africa, put that forward. So we were amongst many, I think thousands of people who applied for that.
2,200.
I think it was about 2,200 people who applied, and then we went through from there to the top 30, 15, and then ultimately top 5. So essentially, it's a program that's actually built to develop businesses at the idea stage that have social impact on the community. And how it assisted us was that it, first of all, connected us with really amazing people who, we could bounce ideas off, challenge one another with regards to our businesses to try and, come up with the best business case. But, also some of the prizes that the program really brought were quite amazing. One being a scholarship to Gibbs for a social entrepreneurship course, which was really amazing. We're actually still in the process of that. That was quite incredible. And then obviously the final pitch, which was I think 2 weeks ago now, in which money was actually given out to the businesses. So it was quite incredible.
Now, you say that this is sort of like an affordable security app. So I'm still trying to actually wrap my head around that. So I downloaded on my phone, and then from there on, what happens? Am I able to see my house? What happens in my security, in my premises? What exactly, and how does the app work?
So it's actually more than just an app. An app is part of the solution, but we've also developed a piece of hardware, and it's a wireless battery-powered home, motion sensing device.
Okay.
So the device is very easy to install inside of your house. We wanted to make it wireless so that you don't have that whole process of people coming into your house, putting wires everywhere. So that it'll be very easy for someone to install, even grannies.
Nice.
And battery powered as well, because obviously with the ESCOM, situation that we have, a lot of people don't have power. So with our device, you get 6 months worth of battery usage before you need to recharge it. And then you recharge it with your standard Android charger. So really, we designed everything around the township home and the limitations and the resources that they have. We wanted a system that would be seamless. So how it works is that the device communicates with the app. So when you first download the app, you have to integrate it with the device. And then on the app, it asks you to put down 5 community contacts. These are people that you want to notify in case of an emergency. So you could add your neighbors, you can add your parents, you can add your street committee, community policing forum, but you're limited to 5 numbers. And then once those 2 are integrated, as you're leaving the house, through the app, you can actually turn the alarm on and off. And then while you're away, if anyone enters into the house, it sends you a notification. Similar to how you'd have you get a WhatsApp notification. It'll tell you there's an emergency in your house, and it'll ask you, do you want to report it to your community or not? And then if you say I want to report it, it sends SMSs to all of those people who are in your community.
Whoa.
Yeah, crime knows no creed, knows no class. It attacks you whether you're poor or rich, black or white. Now, I'm concerned, is the app affordable? Can your regular Jane Doe get the app at an affordable price and izobaqhuba throughout and bangabina lack of funds and they no longer are able to use the app to protect themselves and their homes?
So affordability was a major thing for us because we realized quite early that we wanted to target low-income communities specifically. Because we felt like the problem was more intensified there. Because first of all, people, they can't afford those expensive systems. They can't afford those private, security responses. Nor can they primarily be reliant on the SAP's responses because of the lack of resources on their side. So, affordability was a huge, design consideration. And I mean, currently, if you were to get another alarm system on the market, you'd probably pay about 2,500 to about 4,000 just for the installation, and then you'd probably pay about 300 rand a month on top of that. So with our system, we're actually selling it for 300 rand, and then it's 70 rand a month. So really, it's just for us, the vision is to our actual vision is to ensure that all communities are safe, regardless of their financial means. So we're sticking true to that.
Is Jonah launched, or are you going to launch it?
So it's funny you ask. We're actually launching it on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah. So really excited about that. Yeah.
Controversial question. So basically, are you guys eliminating your ADTs, your security companies? Because it seems like, there's a lot of elimination with the fourth industrial revolution. Yes. So are you eliminating ATT?
Look, I mean, you can see it in that way, or you could see it as more of a complementary product. Because we've realized that, in some instances, people are still hell-bent about that armed response.
Yeah.
And those are often people who are affording. So to those people, we're going to allow that option for the device to integrate with those systems. But really, we don't own that relationship.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that we realized, because we've been spending a lot of time on the ground in Kailija, and one thing we've realized that a lot of those security company brands are tainted in the township because of poor service in the past. So we really wanted to, kind of ensure that this is what we do, and then if you want that service, we can provide that for you, but it's not necessarily tied to us. But there is an element of disruption in what we're trying to do as well, because I mean, when we've looked at the whole value chain for security, it's kind of like designed to make you pay a lot of money, more than necessary.
That's true.
Because you've got the people who create the alarms, then there's the installers, and then there's just so many unnecessary
Red
parts in
tapes
between,
and
and everyone just adds their margin on top of that. So by the time it reaches the end user, you're paying about 2.5 to 4,000 rand unnecessarily. So we wanted to do away with that.
Look, Zozi said take up space, so take up that space.
I feel like I speak for every South African when I say we are sick and tired of crime. So where can people download the app and stuff like that quickly before we go to an ad break?
So it'll be available on the Google Play Store. So we started off with Android because the majority of our target market are on Android, but we also are working on an Apple version as well. So if they just go to the Play Store, alternatively they can find us on our socials on Facebook. Then everything is there. Links to our website are there, and then they'll eventually find the app.
What
online.
are the socials, just in case they want to highlight you at this very moment?
Slide in the DMs. Just search Jonga on Facebook.
Okay.
We should appear.
Are your DMs protected by Jonga? Thank you so much for coming through. I believe this is a beautiful initiative. It's meant for South Africans, and criminals better watch out because sinijongile. Do follow us on Twitter, it's Ekse_live. On Facebook, it's Ekse on Cape Twon TV. On YouTube, it's Ekse on Cape Twon TV. Do dial us at 021-448-0448. On Twitter, it's @Jonga. On Facebook, it's Jonga. Are you on Instagram?
We're on LinkedIn as well.
On LinkedIn as well.
But that's true.
Are you going to have a launch
For
party?
more of the stakeholders.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is for our stakeholders, and then Facebook is for.
Where's the launch? Just on the app?
So it'll be a soft launch this year because we wanted to just focus in Kailija. But then we're going to do a bigger launch where we roll out nationally, and that's going to be early next year.
Okay, cool stuff. Keep it locked right here on the biggest channel in the motherland. This is Ekse. When we return, Rizar is sitting down with very interesting people. You do not want to miss that, as well as amazing prizes. This is a pork socket, and next to me is a Kaya skin and hair range that you want to walk away with tomorrow. We're going to take a quick ad break. When we return, Rizar Forbes, Siasanga Mbigwana, and Lama Limoon are going to be your source of entertainment. Don't go too far. This is Ekse Live.
Okay, I'm really gonna pee.
Wednesday. On the Yellow Couches today, I'm joined by Charles Daniels, who is an entrepreneur rather, and he's doing amazing things, to try and uplift our communities, especially where our youth is concerned and the high percentage of unemployed youth. And he's here to talk about some of the things that he's been doing over the past few months. And I'm super excited. I just had a little chat with him before this, and I want to share everything that he's been doing with you guys. He started a little web app. Yeah, and it's called Skillshift, and it is basically an app that connects a business with temporary workers. And how they put this, I don't know the logistics. He knows it, so let's go ahead and talk to him. How are you doing, man?
I'm good in yourself, man.
No, I'm awesome. It's lovely to have you on a Sci Tech Wednesday. I just want to know, in terms of Charles Daniels, just before we go into anything, tell us a little bit more about you. What have you studied? Where does the love for entrepreneurship come from?
Yeah,
Things
look,
like that.
I've always had a very strong desire for entrepreneurship, but I understood that I need to build a lot of skills in order to get there.
Yes.
So I've managed to leverage my skills in the job market by doing casual work here and there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that has taught me a lot of skills so I've done that by following my passion and exploring my talents.
Yeah.
And by doing so, I would say that I found my purpose, essentially, and that is to use my creative skills to actually come up with creative solutions that would solve some of the biggest challenges facing our society.
Yes.
And that's what my first stop was, youth unemployment, because that's one of the biggest plagues that's challenges facing South Africa at the moment. I mean, with 3.3 million of our youth being unemployed and not pursuing job training, I mean, there's so much more that can come out of that. So,
and I mean, 3.3 million is a high number.
It's one in every three people.
What?
who are unemployed, and so we want to give them access to the job market where they can too explore their skills and talents. And just build that skills and find employment, essentially.
And then you went ahead and started a web app called Skillshift.
Yes.
That connects a business to a temporary worker. Now, when I hear temporary worker, I get a bit of heart palpitations because I'm thinking, am I not going to work forever? So how does everything work, just before we go into those questions?
Okay, so as a job seeker, you would log onto the platform, create your profile. We simplified it to the T, so you don't go through the lengthy recruitment process, because we understand that the youth who are unemployed also struggle with going through those lengthy processes. Like, it's tedious, and we often find that those users, they lack the confidence and energy to actually go and pursue that. So our first problem we tried to solve was to reduce the administrative process. So once they logged onto the platform, they then can browse shifts and essentially just apply, and then you have businesses on the other end who would then accept that by viewing their profile, and they can go and work a shift.
Wow.
So it's really temporary, it's casual, cool and flexible. You can earn extra income when you need to, and allows you the time to actually focus on other priorities or following your dreams. Exactly.
No, that's super awesome. And when it comes to the people who are allowed to, let's say, sign up, is there any requirements? Do I need to be 18? Do I need to speak this language and that language?
Yeah, so the skills that we look for is communication skills. And so yes, you'd have to be 18 and above to apply. And then, just basic communication skills. So what we'll do, we'll call you up and just see what your communication skills are like. We take you through a screening process and just do a criminal record check. And then once that's complete, you're onto the system and you can browse shifts.
Wow.
If you closest to the job offer, and the business would look at that. And then they would hire you, and you're working.
That is, you know what? That is so amazing, because it's so easy. All I do is I'm looking for nothing serious, something temporary, go onto the website, fill in the profile. If I'm accepted, I can then get a temporary job. But what if I'm looking for something more permanent, more stable? Do you guys have something, an offer?
We are looking into programs like that where we could push them into full-time employment. But what we're trying to do with the platform for now is to build a report for them, so they could take that feedback and build on their own skills when they enter into a full-time employment. So it's just like a key to actually access the full-time employment market and actually build those employability skills that businesses measure. Because we found that above the qualifications, it's communication that's essential and behavior and attitudes that businesses look for, specifically for young people.
Okay.
So if they can build that, then we can give feedback, which our platform allows. They can go and like, this is my my resume and my work history, and
Awesomeness. And when it comes to the businesses that you guys work, because we spoke about the guys that's looking for jobs, but what about the guys who are giving the jobs? How do you choose the businesses you work with, or is it just any business that's looking for temporary staff?
Look, for our startup, our first strategy would be to focus on hospitality. So we're looking at waiters, bartenders, and baristas. So that would be the first access that we have, and specifically restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's essentially the businesses for now. But we do want to expand into wider industries.
Of course. And then also your journey as an entrepreneur goes miles and miles. It's almost like you have your hands in everything, just going for what it is.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the Social Tech Startup Challenge.
That was an amazing opportunity that was granted by Diageo, Empowerment Trust of South Africa. They hosted a Social Tech Startup Challenge where there was about 2,300 applicants who submitted their ideas.
Wow.
All focusing on social problems. So
Okay.
ideas that would combat social problems. Skillshift, or my idea, was selected as one of the top 30 out of those 2,000.
What?
Yeah.
Out of the 2,000 and odd? Okay.
So they look for the biggest problems and what ideas that are most feasible to combat that. So they took us through a program along with their partners Urban, Gibbs, and NOSCO. So Gibbs would provide the business education that you need in the professional field, and then NOSCO, Urban, assisted with the startup and development of the platform.
Yeah.
So we've made it to top 15 and top 5, which just recently ended.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we've had a prototype launched into the market to test the market, see what the market looks like, and what we need to build on.
Yeah.
So that's an amazing opportunity that's built my skills tremendously.
I can imagine. I can imagine. So you said the top 5 just recently ended.
Yeah.
What happens to the number 1 spot? If you get number 1, is there money involved?
Yes, so there was.
Is it arranged marriage? I don't know how to work. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, your top 5 was essentially granted with a prototype. And then we test that in the market. So we recently had to go ahead and share our idea for funding.
Yeah.
So we just recently came back from that actually a week ago.
And what were some of the challenges that you faced being a part of that? Because I'm sure going up against 2,299 other ideas must have been tough, and with the programs that you obviously learn more skills and add to your skill set.
Yes, so you build your skill sets in that way, and with the entrepreneur, as an entrepreneur, you have to adapt your skills.
Yes.
Touch in different areas and pull from this, pull from that. It's a very scary and disrupting process. You have to disrupt yourself in order to get an idea like this out there.
Yeah.
And disrupting yourself it manifests itself in so many things. Like you touch a bit on on spiritual, but there's so much aspects that you touch on, and you actually push yourself to do that achievement.
Awesomeness, man. What does the future look like for Shaw Daniels? Are you looking to come up with more creative ideas? Are you looking to push skill shift? What's happening?
Most definitely. I look to push Skillship for at least the next 5 years to develop the app and get out all the pains of job seekers, young job seekers, and those for businesses who need to hire. But I want to continue to actually use my creative skills to come up with solutions that would combat like larger problems that society faces.
Just one more time for the viewers at home. If they are looking, let's say, for a casual job or a temporary job, is there a website they can go to that they can find the web app? And also, how do we get in touch with you, man?
Yes, so you can visit the platform on skillshift.co.za, and then your social media handles would be Facebook, it's at skillshift.za, and then Twitter and Instagram would be skillshift_SA.
I just love how he remembered all of that. He gave us Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, website. I don't even know my own handle sometimes. But man, thank you so much for coming through, chatting to us and sharing your amazing ideas with us. And I do want to wish you well, you know, from the whole Ekse crew, well with Skillshift and everything that you basically put your hand into. Thanks so much,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Well, you're going to get more of Ekse right after this.
Africa doesn't need pity. It needs opportunity. And I think a part of what we need to do is to talk about how do we create mechanisms that create and broaden access, but most importantly, democratize opportunity, rather than consistently fall over ourselves from a pity perspective. It's done with good intention, but it is and has limiting outcomes. So what do we need for Africa to be more equal? I think the first thing we need is a completely new batch of leaders. I think we have a terrible leadership cohort. I think we have politicians, not leaders. And so they think short term and they act for the medium term. And so we don't have a long-term plan. And as a result of it, we don't go anywhere very fast. And then the second thing I think you need is more educated people. I think we need more educated Africans. The third, by the way, which is probably not very well spoken of, is you need more Africans who are not in Africa to look back home. I think there are a lot of Africans who are outside the continent who are doing amazing stuff, and we all kind of turn around and just leave. There has to be an understanding that nobody knows the solutions for Africa better than Africans themselves. It's like South Africa. It's like nobody knows the solution for black people better than black people themselves. But how many white-owned businesses do you find operating in black areas telling black people what to do every day? Like, it's ridiculous. You drive in at 8 o'clock, you leave at 5. People live in that reality. And yet you want to think you can tell them what they should be doing. There's something wrong there. There's a paternalistic, almost insidious relationship that just has to stop. So I think the first thing is to allow Africans themselves to define what solutions are for themselves, you know? And it's hugely political. You know, Benin just pulled out of the French Common Monetary Area, which is fantastic. So the Benin Reserve Bank was held in France for a long time, and now the Benin people have taken it back. The question is whether or not France will allow it to carry on before they intervene in that economy. But even in West Africa, you can't create a West Africa with a reserve bank run in Paris or Luxembourg. So recognize that you don't know the solutions for those people. And that's not your job. Your job is to help, enable, and provide assistance where they need it. But like a mother, you can't force the child to walk. You got to help them do their own walking. And I think that's what Africa needs. Just like, give us some space. All I'm saying is just give us some space. Come here, do your thing. It's fantastic. Help, provide. All of this is amazing. But take a step back and recognize that the people in the environment know much better than you.
The moon, always doing the most, finding out the most, going to the most interesting places as well. Speaking about interesting, businesses and business ideas is always very interesting because you never know whether it's going to work or not. Well, this business in particular, they basically made profit since the word get-go, which is very, very rare when it comes to new businesses. And I'm speaking about Espani, and they're basically in the business of collecting data and then also selling it, you know, to big businesses. And the main focus is on young people in the township and informal settlements. And it's basically a two-way street, from my point of view, because they're employing people in the township and they're also getting businesses the things that they need. And right now we're sitting with the CEO, Tabiso, and he's here to tell us more about Espani and how everything started. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, and yourself?
No, awesome.
Okay, by the way, I'm the CMO.
CMO?
Yeah.
What does CMO stand for?
Chief Marketing Officer.
Oh, okay. Like, I didn't know. There's so many CEO, CMO. Ik weet niet meer. Tell us more about Espani. How did everything start? My understanding is that you guys were basically students, and then there was an idea, and then now 3 years later you boom, big, and you right here on Ekse. So how did the idea come about?
I think it all started in a marketing lecture.
Okay.
Because there was a professor who was giving a lecture explaining to us how how valuable or how valued is the emerging market or the township economy.
Yes.
I was explaining the value at that time, and you're like, Flip, there's so much value in the township economy.
Yes.
But the question is that how do we go about unearthing those insights? How do we go about extracting that value?
Yes.
And it all started in 2016 when we were collecting data for fellow students who are afraid to navigate, the township economy or Ekse as they call it.
Yeah.
So we have like white students who are doing their thesis or their masters are like, we're afraid to go to the township, but our thesis or masters is based on that.
Yes.
So like we'll collect data on your behalf, it's fine. So we went to the township, collected data, we came back, we gave them the data, and like, okay, how do we go about scaling this business?
Yes.
How do we empower someone from UP to go to Soshanguve
Yes.
and collect data on behalf of their white or friends who are afraid to navigate the township?
Yes.
And that's where this idea had us. And to be quite honest, it was also through prayer when we prayed and said, God, we want to scale this thing.
Yes.
Right? There's an opportunity. I think now when I was reading about the value of the informal sector, it's valued at $700 billion. What? That's like twice the size of agriculture's GDP to contribution of agriculture to GDP.
Yeah.
And you're like, Flip, there's so much value in this market, but how do
Yes.
we go about extracting this value? And that's how we go about. That's how we end about creating a platform called Ispani.
That is
So
amazing.
basically, Ispani empowers young people or micro, as you call them, micro entrepreneurs, young people who are ordinarily unemployed to become Ispani agents or
Yeah.
Ispani entrepreneurs
Or stewards.
or stewards. If
I
you
love
put it
that.
there.
And
A
I want to
steward.
know, obviously, because like I mentioned, you guys basically made a profit from the word get-go. But my question is, every new business has its challenges, because obviously there were things that you guys were struggling with at first. We know it wasn't money, but I'm just saying that what are some of the challenges that you guys had to face, whether it was getting people to believe in your vision, getting people even to be part of Hispania, and for the people who work for or with you to say that there is something you can actually make. How challenging was that?
To be quite honest, very challenging because you're starting a business, you're knocking on a lot of doors, and you get a lot of people like closing doors on you. We send out so many emails trying to reach out to clients, trying to explain to them that there's so much value in the township economy or in the emerging market as they call it.
Yes.
And for them to understand that market, they can able to up their profits or their sales.
Yes.
And people didn't necessarily see the vision or see what we're trying to build.
Yes.
And I think that was a challenge in terms of also getting clients. And then that's where we sat down, we came up with a new model, we call it a top-bottom approach.
Okay.
So we leverage our existing networks and people we know, who know people who know people who know people. So we leverage the networks to kind of get to the exact level. So that's why we call it a top-bottom approach. Instead of going from directly to the people at the lower end, and then they'll need to chat to the line manager, and it takes time. So like, let's hit the decision makers, right? Find a way to land the meeting with someone within the executive level.
Yeah.
Then that enables us to fast track in terms of our client acquisition process. Yeah.
Okay, when it comes to the data that you guys actually collect, because data it can mean anything. How many cows is there? How many chickens do people eat? So what is the type of data that you normally collect, or you send your agents out to collect or find out for these other big businesses that can actually help them with marketing or selling their products and things like that?
So I'll use a base case. So one of the recent job we did with Nespa's Labs. So what we did is we did what we call business mapping.
Okay.
So we send agents across their local communities to go and engage the small businesses that exist in that local community. So we're trying to do SMME landscape or ecosystem analysis. So we're trying to understand what sort of business challenges these small businesses are facing.
Yes.
How many people are they employing? What's the prospects of employment? Do they need finance? Are they compliant? So that sort of data we aggregated and we report on it. So you get to understand the landscape in terms of the business landscape within the township economy. And also another business use case is that now we are heavily working with financial services business within the financial service sector. And one of the things that we inform them about three things. One is product development, product design, and product positioning.
Okay.
So those are sort of data we use our agents to go and collect. Data that informs the development of the product before it even gets developed. So that you realize that most of businesses have wasted a lot of money. They spend millions setting up a marketing team and then only find out the product will fail. Why? Because they didn't have insights on how to actually design the product, how to position it, and how to also sell it or distribute the product. So those are sort of data we necessarily gather for our clients.
Do you know, that's what I basically like about what you guys are doing, because you're using the people inside the township to find out what's happening, and that is the best people to use because they would know exactly this is our needs, we don't like that, we do like that, or this is what's happening, and then that data you're actually sending it to your client, and then they're using it to their advantage. But when it comes to recruiting, because obviously finding the people who goes out to collect the data is important. So what are some of the requirements when it comes to I want to be an Hispanic agent? Do I have to have matric? Do I have to live in a township per se? What are some of the things when you guys hire agents?
So for us, I think mainly we try to utilize the same thing that young people are very resourceful with, which is a smartphone.
Yes.
So I think basic requirement, tech safe.
Okay.
And we all know that millennials are very tech savvy.
Yeah.
Right? So that's a minimum entry requirement. Other than that, you don't need to have a matric. You don't need to have, as long as you can utilize the platform to collect data seamlessly. And also integrity is a very big thing. And that's why we have our own internal data verification processes where we call or we verify the data. Even on our platform, we can geolocate where the agent was.
Yeah.
So if you're saying standing in front of this puzzle shop, you're asking them questions. When you send a date, it geolocates where you were at that time.
Yeah.
And it also use cell phone numbers to verify that the data giving is of a person or it's even accurate. So integrity is very important because we want to work with people who give us, proper data, true data, because it informs decision of like investments into the town. Yeah,
it's so big moves.
Yeah, we are legitimate. But now we realize that we need to, in terms of scale, we have come up with a new model. We call it 1:1:2 many.
Okay.
So that's like in a foreseeable future, even from next year, we want to start rolling out that thing. Where we partner with local NGOs. We give them our software to manage their agents for free. Because you know that local NGOs have agents that they use to go into the township. So you give them our software to manage the agents. And on top of that, their agents effectively become our agent, and we can add value to their agents. So 1:1:2 many, we interact with NGOs, NGOs interact with agents at large.
Yes.
So that also reduces our agent acquisition cost significantly. Because in terms of training as well, you just bring all the delegates from the NGOs in one place, you train them, and then you know that you've trained these people for a lifetime. They can train any agents who come in through the NGO. And we're dealing with people of integrity, people who work with NGOs, people who are well known in the community, young people who are trying to create an impact within the local community. So them becoming our agents as well, we are adding more value to what they're currently doing. So that's a new approach we're trying to.
I can definitely see why you guys made money from the word get-go, because the ideas that's coming from you, it's you can hear it's thought of. You didn't just say, let's try this, and that is absolutely amazing. I want to know from you, just before we let you go, you guys were part of the Socials Tech Startup Challenge. How did that go? What are some of the things that you learned that you can incorporate in Hispanic today, just before we let you go?
Also, the Diageo social tech was very helpful. Even initially, we learned a lot of things. Some of the things I didn't even know, so like prototyping, those kind of things, like taking an idea from an initial idea to prototyping, to prototyping. I thought it was prototyping. I found out there was prototyping before prototyping, which was very interesting. And we've learned that, and that thing really added value. It even changed our perspective of how we look at an idea or a business idea, and how to go about taking it from an idea to a proper business. What sort of stages do you need to go through before you even MVP that initial idea? So those are the things we've learned.
That is amazing.
And apart from that, also the cash prize is good. And the prospect in terms of the Diageo social program is really good. Next year, we're hoping that they're going to add more value in terms of helping us also scale the business, because we realize that unemployment is a huge thing in South Africa. So we want to scale our business across South Africa, even push through SADC as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming through. Where can we find you on social media real quick?
Social media, we're on Facebook, Hispanic Group, on Facebook, and also LinkedIn, Hispanic Group as well. Awesome. That's on Facebook, that's why agents can find us if you want to become an Hispanic agent. And then as for clients who want to understand the township economy much better, they can find us on LinkedIn, also at Hispanic Group.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much for it.
A quick ad break. When we do come back, we have much more for you. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Lovely.
God, then I retire.
Welcome back to the biggest youth show in the motherland, where we bring you everything that you need under the sun. Let it be your favorite artists, philanthropists, or business personnel. We got it right here at home. You're still watching Ekse live right here on Cape Twon TV. Generation 2 no longer uses what Rizal is doing today. This is his cell phone. If you were to keep your cards safe using a POC socket, all you need to do is just slide them in, just like that. Even your ID cards, just like that. And your cell phone is handy. For smaller fingers, Anissa right here has 3 pop sockets, and that's how you can hold your pop socket. Anissa is a lady who loves looking at herself in the mirror, but you do not always travel with the mirror. This pop mirror flips open, and you get to see yourself on screen. And then this one, you hang it on your car screen, so that when you're driving, you just press down and speak to the person on the other receiving end. This is the perfect gift for Christmas. Let's check how you use pop sockets. It is the biggest, the baddest, and the most hip and happening youth show in the motherland. Hey! Follow us on Twitter, it's Ekse_live. Live on Facebook, it's Ekse on Cape Twon TV. We are available on YouTube. You can stream us live. Just search Ekse on Cape Twon TV. The number to dial, 021-448-0448. Happy festive season to you and yours. Somebody who's going to make sure that this season is to remember is none other than the lady who opened the gates for Ekse this afternoon. She goes by the name of Uzianda. She's a singer and poet hailing all the way from the Eastern Cape, Ekse. And Gumdu wasemakhaya ubuyela khona this December, and she has something special for the community yase Eastern Cape. Zianda wamkelekile, thank you for coming through again. We missed you. Yes, we know.
Yazi, bengithanda great performance yakho that you actually performed earlier on. And yazi ngokuperforma mani ingathi uthetha mostly about the gender-based violence. How does it actually link ingoma yakho with your poetry, especially ingoma yakho? Does it link to the gender?
iyadibana sithando sami, because kaloku ndithi masambe sobona phambili. Yabona ndithi ngenye imini sizophumelela. Because wonke umuntu ongumama uhleli nje yoyika. Like ngasumuntu ayazi, like wonke umuntu omchaphazelayo, because ayisachaphazela abantu bangomama nabantwana ngoku. Nabantu bangotata bayabula, abantu bayacholwa befile everywhere. Then ndithi masihambe sophumelela. Sambe sobona phambili.
Iqale nini i-journey yakho yomculo? You know, majority of the people bathi banajonga mna ndazalwa ndicula. I'd like to know, man, your journey with regards to umculo. Masithethe back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ucula like wonke umuntu uyafunda ekhayeni ucula kuyaculwa emakhayeni kukhona za noba siyakudumisa abaculwayo xa kukhona ecawe but to be honest mina bendicula kodwa ndingekho shoba ndingayenza lento uyabona ndingayenza lento ukhulela ezilalini okokuqala and xa ndifika ngapha eKapa abantu balapha ba serious and then I have to uba ndibe njengomnye umama othile njengomnye othile. So uqala kwami ucula ke ndavele ndazixela into bajonga into ezenza umbela kuyombelwa mosezilalini if uqopho zitonela xa usiyegcuwa uyombela so bandibuza abantu nethomi zami ucinga uba uzawuyenza njani lento uyabhesa uyathini ndithi kodwa ndibhesa kamnandi like ndiyazivisa kamnandi mna so yavele yaqala kanjalo ndavele ndazixela uba ndifuna ukwenza umahluko uba umntu owayekhona ndibona ezilalini ndicula ezilalini mhlawumbi emgidini ayazi uba nase-TV ndingacula.
Yeah. I have to commend that whenever you do come to the show, and I actually told you this before the show even started, that you're always looking amazing, you know, in your African attire. And that is basically my question, like, do you draw inspiration from Africa or like, you know, the African roots and things like that when it comes to both personally and also your poetry and or music?
Ewe ndiyazama eyona nto ndiyizamayo ukubonisa uba unganxiba nantoni na kodwa kufanele kodwa thina ndicinga uba siyazibilisa kakhulu thina abantu bamnyama thina ma-Afrika siyazibilisa ixesha elinintsi because uvele uyibone mhlawumbi kutshomo wakho le nto ubomi buyamfanela khawuthi gqina nto yakho jonga umzekelo mna xa ndingena ezitratweni zaselokishini yam wonke umntu uyakhwaza nakuzihanda not because khona into ebalulekileyo ngam qha ndim ndothi umntu ozanxiba amacici amatshisi ndim ndothi okwazi unxiba icicile emalibhoro and then xa bebuza uba kutheni unxiba icuba kodwa uthi ngumntu ofuna kubonwe kuye no i-awareness wena uzojonga uba licuba eliya libhaliwe uba danger smoking can kill you.
I remember the last time you came through Busiti Nenza izinto community so that you can teach the young ones how to be responsible. And now Baba Tanda Oba parts of arts and culture, Niba encourage, Niba you mentor them. Is that still going on? And if it is, bangapinda bazeli na because festive ngoku siyaphinda saqala ngoJanuary.
Oh sivalile xa kuvalwa izikolo then xa veki kugqitywa ubhala because abantu abaninzi bayahamba bayaphuma out of Cape Town then sivalile okwangoku but iyenzeka.
You're going to shut down ishow namhlanje with a performance. What are you talking about kula poetry nengoma yakho?
Oh okay xa ndivaliwe ishow andizuyivala ngepoem njengoba bendivule ngayo ndizawucula ndinengoma entsha ethi iphendula leli xesha enyakeni oobhebi bethu bayaduka abantu bethu and then ungasumntu ndizama uzoba umfanekiso ngqondweni uba xa engekho umntu umkhangela ngefowuni uba njani uziva njani
Engophindile igama lakhe. Listen, you're going to you're doing something special for Christmas.
Ewe ndiya eGcuwa I think nge-24 kokuqala ndizabe ndiperforma kucofa imvaba. It's a town before iGcuwa kodwa ungekafika eGcuwa kwenye into okuthiwa ngumjamo talent show then xa ndiphuma apha ngo-25 kaDisemba ndizobe ndiperforma ezilalini zam eGcuwa kuthiwa kusekhoboti like sithatha yonke le nto sibesiyenzile kwezi ndawo sihlala kuzo sibuyisele emakhayeni.
Okay, all the best for that and happy festive
ndiyabulela
season.
Nkosi kakhulu.
Yeah, this product we introduced to you yesterday, yenziwe ngetalo, it's only made out of a fat that is fed green grass, so it has no chemicals, nothing at all. Very good for your skin. You can put it on your lips. It smells so good. I think I'm gonna use this product forever, and I'd love to introduce it to our viewers. You'd love to win this. We're giving away goodies tomorrow. Enter the competition. You only need to tell us what you love about your skin and your hair so that we can protect it holistically. Imani told us how she uses it for her hair yesterday. I'm trying to also tell about the skin. Let's check it out.
Product just to deal with skin issues that I have. I have mild psoriasis and dry skin, which gets really frustrating because it's mainly on my face and around my ears, along here and like in between my eyebrows. So it's very visible and something that I feel quite embarrassed about. So what I usually do is after my shower, I put some of the Ekse skin food around those areas and leave it on overnight, and when I wake up in the morning, the pain and the sort of cracking of the skin pretty much is completely healed by that time, which is amazing because most other things take a few days to get there, whereas this one has really helped me so much, just making me feel less embarrassed about my skin issues and just having like no pain either. So it's really, really been a game changer for that as well.
Ekaya.co.za is where you find out most about products in Zakona. My skin is so shiny.
It's shining.
Yeah.
It's like...
And I smell good. I don't have to put on fragrances again.
That's the nice thing, and it's for everything, body, hair, lips, I love that.
Even if you actually have sensitive skin, you can even use it.
Yeah,
no colorants, no artificials. Great.
Yeah. Between 4 and 5 tomorrow, it's hashtag Talk Thursday. We're talking everything hair. We're talking everything skin. All of the Ekse presenters are going to be in the building. You do not want to miss hashtag Talk Thursday.
Goodbye.
Zianda Magina is going to perform right now, and it's goodbye. Up next is Open Studio.
Nashona mala nenzuku zeveka
ndingawazi uphina kanti sithandwa uphina washona malanga nenzuku zeveka ndingawazi uphina kanti sithandwa uphina. Oh no, no, oh no, no, oh no, no, yeah, yeah, no, 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 oh no, no, oh no, no, yeah, yeah, ndifuna ukwazitela lami andilazi ityala lami, ndifuna ukwazi isono sami, baby, andisazi isono sami, ndifuna ukwazi ityala lami, baby, andilazi ityala lami, ndifuna ukwazi isono sami, baby, andisazi isono sami. Bendikufowunela ngizathi ndiyakhumbula, ndikufowunela ngoba ndiyakuthanda baby. Bendikufowunela ngizothi ndiyakhumbula, ndikufowunela ngoba ndiyakuthanda baby. Pendula, kapendula ifoni, kapendula ifoni, pendula, kapendula ifoni, baby, pendula ifoni, wena kapendula ifoni, kapendula ifoni, kapendula ifoni, kapendula ifoni, pendula, kapendula ifoni, baby, upendula ifoni, wena kapendula